You don't see a lot of games like Effie anymore. This is a throwback to the mid-tier action platformers that were so popular during the days of the PlayStation 2, like Maximo and the Mark of Cree. It's simple, straightforward, and a little shallow, but it's also good-natured, well-executed, and a great reminder of how much fun a solid 3D platformer can be. And did I mention that you can surf around the countryside on a hoverboard? If that doesn't sell you, then nothing will. The Effie in question is none other than a precocious young girl with boundless energy. In a nod to the Princess Bride, Effie's grandfather tells her the story of a lazy knight who is cursed when he refuses to help a witch named Melira. The selfish knight is Galland, and the evil witch puts a spell on him that turns the youthful fighter into an old man. Unwilling to accept this punishment, Galland travels far and wide to have the Elder Protectors intervene, but he's turned away due to having an impure heart. It's now up to our aging hero to prove that he has a pure heart and reverse the curse once and for all. As we come to find out, Galland is far from the only person who's been cursed by Melira. In fact, she's spreading evil all across the land of Oblena, and the Elder Protectors don't like it. They give the Graying Knight a magical shield to help him defeat the evil witch and restore peace to the land. This sets up a fairly straightforward adventure where Galland fights through 4 different themed stages to prove his worth. Now, aside from being able to surf around on a hoverboard, this is a pretty standard action platformer. You'll jump around the different stages, picking up experience points, finding keys, and smashing all of the ghosts and goblins with your magical shield. It never gets more complicated than jumping over fire pits and walking over buttons on the floor. Once you've solved the platforming puzzle and collected as many items as you can find, it's off to battle Melira in one of 4 boss fights. On the topic of combat, Galland has both a weak and a strong attack. He'll also learn a number of special moves as he unlocks the different parts of the shield, including a boomerang and an earthquake attack that hurts multiple enemies at the same time. You can also use the magic of the shield to double jump and dash through the air, as well as shield our hero from the swarms of bad guys. That said, the game's easy difficulty meant that I never got around to actually using the shield, so it might as well not even be an option. If all this sounds like standard fare for the action platforming genre, then it's because it is. With the exception of traveling from place to place on a hoverboard, there isn't much here that you haven't seen countless times before. The reason the game gets away with it is because Effie manages to nail all of the fundamentals. The platforming sections are always easy to control and never cheap, while the beat-em-up sections are usually fast and not very long. It's also a short game, knowing to wrap things up long before the repetitive action and platforming grows stale. Look, I had fun fighting the monsters and tracking down Melira, but I have to admit that a lot of this is simply because this is a winning formula. It's hard to mess up this kind of 3D platformer, especially when the controls are tight and you have a likable hero. It also helps that we don't see a lot of games like this anymore, making it easy for me to overlook the lack of challenge, the lame boss fights, and a few of the technical problems. This is a game that I enjoyed in the moment, but liked less and less the more I thought about the individual parts. Between the cartoony graphics and easy difficulty, Effie was clearly designed with younger players in mind. This works well as both a good introduction to 3D platformers and a nice reminder of what made the genre so much fun in the first place. It has well-crafted level designs, a nice variety of locations, a speedy pace, and a number of side quests. Oh, and did I mention the hoverboard? On the other hand, it's not especially ambitious, and you've seen most of these elements countless times before. If you're looking for a game that evolves the genre in a meaningful way, then you may want to look somewhere else, because Effie is good, safe, and familiar fun. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite 3D platformer? Yeah, I know, there are a lot to choose from. Maybe too many to choose from. With so many choices, I can't wait to see what you come up with in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with a new episode of Game Over, the early years. I think. I hope. Ugh, this one really turned into kind of an ordeal. Hopefully we can get more into that tomorrow. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,